BEE is a part of day-to-day business nowadays. You cannot ignore BEE if you are in commercial law, and in corporate law you have to deal with it. We are of the opinion that since it is an integral part of our today's life, we should give the clients the best possible solutions. We have stricter and more far-reaching controls, and we have stricter and more far-reaching requirements. Having said that, it also contains the right steps. If one looks, for instance, at skills development, it's not only for employees, it's for black people. So you are not confined to what were your employees at the time of the old codes. You now can support and look after black people in general and score your points. If you have an employee share scheme trust, that is something where you can try and combine giving back to your employees with the BEE requirements. That is something that every company, specifically bigger companies with more employees, look at when they deal with their BEE requirements. What you have for smaller companies nowadays is something that also comes not out of the codes, but it comes out of the New Companies Act. It is an ability to issue shares which have not yet been paid for, something that the old Companies Act didn't allow you. It's called sweet equity. You issue shares to a BEE company, to a BEE carrier, and you don't issue these shares directly to them, but you issue them in trust. Once you have these shares in trusts, the BEE company that buys, in inverted commas, into your company to fulfill your ownership requirements has to pay or to deliver a consideration for these shares. This consideration can be services, it can be goods, it can be money. It is quite flexible what you give for your shares. And the beauty of it is that you, in terms of a trust agreement for which the Act makes provision, can transfer to that company certain rights arising from the shares before they are the shareholder. With other words, you give them the right to vote and you give them the right to receive dividends, something which could not be done in terms of the old Act. And that is very helpful today if you want to put a deal together where the people who take in a BEE entity expect something back. It is understandable that people say, why must I give something away? That's why one should always structure BEE in such a way that something comes back. And as I pointed out before, if you become a level 4 or 3 or whatever provider on the new codes, which is very onerous, you are having your nose ahead in competition in this country. The consequence of which is that the value of your company naturally increases. So I would advise people to try and get away from the general anti-attitude and try and embrace the concept on the basis, how can it enhance the value of my company and how can it improve my commercial standing?